Very good morning, all of you. Last class, I was discussed about um, what is refrigeration, air conditioning, and what is the need of refrigeration. Um, what are the ancient techniques we preferred in last centuries for cooling homes? Second law of thermodynamics, particularly Clausius statement, which is essential for refrigeration. These topics were discussed in last class. In today's class, I will discuss about what are the applications of refrigeration and how does a Carnot refrigerator works. These two things will be discussed in present class. Now, first of all, I discuss about refrigeration applications. See, all of you, I have mentioned number of applications on slide. Each and every one I'll discuss in brief manner. First one is ice making. First application of refrigeration is ice making. Water has to be converted into solid under freezing temperatures. If you want to freeze water, you have to reduce the temperature, you have to remove the heat from the water. So this is refrigeration application. And next one is transportation and storing of food above and below freezing points. Everybody knows that if you want to transport some amount of foods, you have to reduce the temperature, which are less than the atmospheric temperatures. At the same time, some food, if you want to store at a particular temperature, sometimes you have to reduce the temperature, which is also less than the atmospheric temperature. So in particular cases, refrigeration is required for transportation case and for storing of food. Next application is air conditioning. Particularly in hot countries like India, the surrounding temperature generally ranges in between 30 to 45 degrees Celsius. But at this temperature, human being does not feel comfort. Human being feels always comfort in between 18 to 22 degrees Celsius. When human being is placed in room, if he wants to feel comfortable, he has to reduce the temperature inside the room. That means he has to remove heat from the room and it has to um, discharge to the surroundings. By using only proper refrigeration system in the room, then only he can remove heat from the room and he feels comfort. So that is one more application of refrigeration. And next one is oil refineries, chemical and related industries. In some industries, in some cases, we see some amount of waste gases in industries. We cannot directly supply to surroundings those waste gases. We have to convert into liquids, then we store. Similarly, some amount of gases have to be processed into liquid state for industries. In such situations, we have to maintain a proper refrigeration system to convert gases into liquids. Next one is medical and surgical aids. Everybody knows this one. In case of proper emergency medicines for operations case, um, you have to reduce the temperature inside the room. So proper refrigeration it is possible. Processing of food for beverages. If you want to process at particular temperature which should be less than atmospheric temperature, in such cases refrigeration is required. Next application is that in treatment of metals, I explained one example in the brackets called tempering. Tempering is a process which is used to strengthen steel. In tempering process, the basic step which is used is that quenching. Quenching means you have to increase the temperature rapidly, at the same time immediately you reduce the temperature in rapid direction. So using this procedure, the strength of steel will be improved. So here to reduce the temperature in rapid way, you have to be maintain proper refrigeration system. Next one, chilled liquids and dairy products. Chilling means you have to maintain temperature 0 to 5 degrees Celsius. In case of beers or cool drinks, you have to use refrigeration system. For this case, dairy products means you have to store dairy products or milk products. Next one, liquefying gases. For example, if you go for rocket propulsion systems, fuel and oxygen have to be maintained in liquid state. So to maintain liquid state, you have to maintain effective refrigeration system. Then only gaseous fuels will be stored in liquid state. I have given some examples of fuels like O2, N2, propane, methane. So these will be storing in liquid state by using refrigeration system. Next one is building construction. I mentioned an example here in brackets, cooling concrete. Generally, in the preparation of concrete, in setting means setting of concrete, um, heat liberates, means this is an exothermic reaction. When heat liberates, some amount of cracks may develop on walls. So if you avoid that cracks, you have to maintain proper cooling system on the walls by supplying water or some other cooling systems, that cracks may be reduced. So applying cooling medium means generally temperature is less than 10 degrees Celsius to the surroundings. Then only that cooling may be applied on walls or construction case. So this is one more type of refrigeration system, which is less than the atmospheric temperature. These are different refrigeration applications we use for um, daily needs. Okay, and next topic. Next topic is reversed Carnot cycle. So actually we have to discuss about Carnot refrigerator. First of all, I start with reversed Carnot cycle. Reversed Carnot cycle means which completely reverses the Carnot cycle, which is in anti-clockwise direction. Which shows in anti-clockwise direction. I will show you that cycle. When a refrigerator works on reversed Carnot cycle, that cycle is called as Carnot refrigerator. The device can be treated as Carnot refrigerator. When you take a heat pump which is operating by reversed Carnot cycle, that heat pump can be called as Carnot heat pump. In reversed Carnot cycle, um, the total cycle will be operated between two specified temperature limits, and the COP means the performance, the coefficient of performance of reversed Carnot cycle is best one compared to other cycles. See, then we'll move to reversed Carnot cycle refrigerator or Carnot refrigerator. See, all of you, this is schematic diagram of Carnot refrigerator. Carnot refrigerator. This is the diagram. Here mainly we have four parts. See, all of you, I have written those parts. First one is compressor, second one is condenser, and third one is turbine, and fourth one is evaporator. Turbine can also be called as expander. Evaporator can also be treated as refrigerator. So these are four parts: compressor, condenser, expander or turbine, evaporator or refrigerator. I have given number of sections here. 1, 2 sections are placed at inlet and outlet of compressor. 2 and 3, in between these two sections, condenser has been located. 3 and 4, in between, expander is located. 4 and 1, evaporator is located. These are different sections on schematic diagram. And one more thing, what are the processes involved in Carnot cycle or Carnot refrigerator? Mainly, there are four processes are involved in Carnot refrigerator. See, all of you, I have given here. One is isentropic compression. Second one is isothermal heat rejection. It is also called as isothermal compression. And third one is isentropic expansion. And fourth one is isothermal heat rejection or isothermal expansion. These are four processes which are involved in Carnot refrigerator. Now I discuss each and every one. Isentropic, here to one main thing you have to understand that isentropic, and most of the students think that isentropic is equal to adiabatic. No, it is completely not. Isentropic is different, adiabatic is different. Adiabatic means adiabatic process. Adiabatic process means you have to be operated a process at no heat losses from system to surroundings, and from the surroundings to system. If there is no heat transfer or heat losses take place, that process is called as adiabatic process, no heat transfer. But isentropic means reversible adiabatic. Reversible adiabatic. Two words are here: reversible plus adiabatic. Reversible means you should be operated a process with zero frictional effects. There should be no friction. At the same time, adiabatic means there should be no heat transfer. If I maintain an operation or process like that, that process is called as isentropic process. Here, isentropic compression means without frictional effects and without heat losses, you have to increase the pressure. Compression means pressure rise. You have to increase the pressure, and constant temperature heat rejection. It is also called as isothermal heat rejection. Isothermal means without changing its temperature, heat should be rejected from system to surroundings. That is isothermal heat rejection. When heat is rejected from system to surroundings, temperature, no change in temperature, but automatically volume decreases. When volume decreases, we can call it as compression. That's why isothermal compression, we call it as isothermal compression. And next one is isentropic expansion. Same, reversible adiabatic process expansion. Without frictional effects, without heat losses, pressure has to be decreased. Expand means pressure has to be decreased. If a process like that does like that, that is called as isentropic expansion. And fourth one is isothermal heat addition. Without changing its temperature, heat has to be added from surroundings to, from cooled space to system. From cooling space to system, when heat is added at constant temperature, that is called as isothermal heat addition. When heat is added, volume automatically increases. So that's why we call it as isothermal expansion. These are four different processes what we have in Carnot refrigerator. Again, I move to basic diagram. See all of you, 1, 2. 1, 2 here, 1 before compression, 2 after compression. Let assume a fluid is placed inside the system. Now that fluid is trying to move into the compressor. At state 1, pressure P1, temperature is assumed as TL, minimum temperature. TL, let assume at state 1 or section 1, temperature is TL, minimum temperature. After compression, when fluid is entered into compressor, pressurization takes place. After that pressurization, temperature automatically increases. So at the end of the compressor, we see temperature as TH. TH. Let us assume the temperature is TH. Now, after the compression, that fluid has reached to saturated state, saturated vapor state. So this saturated vapor state fluid is moved to condenser. At same temperature, without changing its temperature, at same TH value, the heat is rejected to surroundings. I have given an arrow mark to the surroundings. So by this, heat is rejected from system to surroundings. Due to this heat transfer, volume decreases. See all of you, from 2 to 3, volume is decreasing. Volume is decreasing. So automatically, this is called as compression. When volume decreases at constant temperature, pressure automatically slightly increasing. So pressure increases, volume decreases. This is isothermal compression or heat rejection. 2 to 3. Then 3 to 4. After compression, after isothermal compression or at the end of the condenser, we see saturated liquid state. Now with this state, that fluid has entered expander or turbine. Already I told you turbine is an expander where pressure drops or pressure drop takes place. So due to this pressure drop, temperature decreases from TH to TL, minimum temperature. Finally, at the end of the expansion, we have reached minimum temperature of the cycle, TL. Only two specified temperature limits. One is TH, which is operating between section 2 and 3. Second temperature is TL, which is operating at sections 4 and 1. Minimum temperature TL, maximum temperature TH. So after expansion, we have reached the minimum temperature TL, and pressure also drops. So with this pressure and low temperature, that fluid has moved to evaporator. Here, evaporator means heat absorption takes place from cooled space. So cooled space is having very less having temperature from which heat is added to the evaporator. Due to this heat addition at constant temperature, volume slightly increases and pressure decreases. That's why we call it as expansion. Pressure is dropping. Isothermal expansion, volume is increasing. So like that, this cycle continues. I will tell you what are the practical difficulties of this cycle. I will tell you later. So these are PV and TS diagrams of reversed Carnot cycle or Carnot refrigerator. 1 2 compression, 2 3 isothermal heat rejection, 3 4 isentropic expansion, 4 1 isothermal heat addition, where QL indicating amount of heat supplied from cooled space to evaporator, QH is indicating amount of heat rejected from system to surroundings, WC is indicating work input required to the compressor, WT required is indicating work developed by the turbine or expander. These are four different notations what we have here. And one more thing, if you see here, 1 2 is isentropic process, so S1 is equal to S2, entropy becomes constant here. And 3 4 is isentropic process, here S3 is equal to S4. For T4 is equal to T1, minimum temperature called TL, T3 is equal to T2, which is maximum temperature called TH. So this is total notation of Carnot refrigerator. Now these points already just now we have discussed regarding processes. Now, how can we determine the performance of Carnot refrigerator? See, Carnot refrigerator performance can be measured by COP, coefficient of performance. Coefficient of performance means it is nothing but an efficiency. For heat engines, yes, we call as efficiency, but refrigerator means which works completely reverse to the heat engine. That's why we call it as COP. We cannot say as efficiency, we call it COP. Output, input, these are two parameters. That ratio is called as coefficient of performance. What is output and what is input, you have to see. Output means refrigerator has to remove heat from the cooled space. That is the output, that is the objective of the refrigerator. Refrigerator objective, it has to remove heat from cooled space. That is nothing but QL. It is also called as cooling effect or refrigerating effect. What is the input? How does it work? Input means how does that refrigerator work means total amount of net work done which is available. We are giving some amount of work to the refrigerator with the help of compressor, and some amount of power is developed by the refrigerator with the help of device turbine. So the net work is equal to WC minus WE, that is total network output, and the objective or heat removing rate is equal to QL. So these two things are required for determining coefficient of performance. First of all, let let me discuss heat absorbed. QL is equal to, from the thermodynamics we know that Q can also be written as T delta S. T delta S, delta S means change in entropy. Heat absorbed means here process indicating 1 4, where Q is indicating QL. So heat absorbed QL is equal to T delta S. T means here which is at a constant temperature called minimum temperature. So TL delta S. Delta S means for process 1 4, delta S is equal to S1 minus S4. So same thing I have written, TL delta S means S1 minus S4. This is for heat absorption operation. Next one is heat rejection. Heat rejection means process 2, 3. It is can be written as T delta S, where for see here, for heat rejection case temperature is maximum called TH. Delta S means S2 minus S3. Same thing I wrote here. If you observe carefully, 1, 2 and 3, 4 are isentropic processes. So S1 minus S4 is equal to S2 minus S3, which is given as ds. I have taken as ds. So total work input or network input, work input means network input is equal to total amount of heat rejected minus total heat absorbed from the first law of thermodynamics, which is also equal to WC minus WE. Compressor work minus absorber work, which is equal to heat rejection minus heat absorption from the first law of thermodynamics. Net amount of heat is equal to net amount of work. So heat rejection is equal to QH, heat absorption is equal to QL. So QH minus QL is equal to TH ds, what I wrote in above equations. QL means TL ds, total TH minus TL ds. TH means maximum temperature, TL minimum temperature, ds change in entropy. This is net work input required for the Carnot refrigerator. Network input is equal to TH minus TL ds. And one now we see coefficient of performance of Carnot refrigerator is equal to output by input. What is output or what is objective? Amount of heat removed from cooled space, nothing but cooling effect. Amount of heat removing from space called as cooling effect or refrigerating effect, which is denoted by QL. Next, network input required, that is amount of input required for refrigerator. Network input called TH minus TL ds. So QL is amount of output required, and input required WC minus WE, which is nothing but QH minus QL from the first law of thermodynamics. So from this equation, if you derive, QL means TL ds, work input required TH minus TL ds. So ds finally cancelled, and remaining quantity TL by TH minus TL. TL means minimum temperature available in the cycle. TH means T maximum temperature. So T minimum by T max minus T minimum is a equation of COP for Carnot refrigerator. Remember, so this is derivation or the COP for Carnot refrigerator, important for examination point of. Next, I already told you in beginning of Carnot refrigerator what are the possibility or difficulties to practically implement this cycle. Mainly isothermal process and isentropic process. These two are selection of processes are main problem in Carnot. Isothermal means it is very slow process. You have to be conducted at quasi-static state. Then only isothermal process will be possible to be conducted. Isentropic is a fast process, high speed process. And one more difficulty here, reversible adiabatic. So if you want to conduct isothermal process, you have to move in very slow way. If you want to conduct isentropic process, you should move in fast way, because compressor is a rotating element, moving element. It always delivers fluid with some amount of velocity. Similarly, turbine follows isentropic. It is a moving element which delivers fluid some amount of velocity. So isentropic process, turbine and compressor are moving elements, deliver fluid with some amount of velocity. But condenser and evaporator are stable devices. You have to operate at quasi-static process. This is the difficulty what we observe in Carnot cycle. Two devices are going to operate at quasi-static state. Two devices should be operated at high speed, some amount of speed. So that is one practical difficulty of Carnot cycle. And second one is selection case. Isothermal, heat addition and heat rejection should be operated at constant temperature. This is very difficult under practical conditions. It is almost impossible to operate heat addition and heat rejection at constant temperature. And next, one more practical difficulty is that isentropic. Isentropic means reversible adiabatic. If you want to see, if you are seeing a compression process, when temperature rises, automatically heat losses take place from system to surroundings. In case of expansion, when temperature drops, some amount of heat losses take place from surroundings to system. No one can reduce this one, no one can avoid this one. It is always possible. So heat losses will take place from system to surroundings. So adiabatic process is not possible to be conducted in practical way. Similarly, when moving element is there, automatically some amount of friction develops inside the system, so you cannot avoid frictional losses. So isentropic means reversible adiabatic. Practically reversible is not possible, adiabatic process is also not possible. So this is one more practical difficulty to be conducted in Carnot refrigerator. So these are practical limitations. So in today class, I hope that you understood well these two topics. In today class, I have discussed mainly two things. One is refrigeration applications, and second one is Carnot refrigerator. In Carnot refrigerator, I discussed cycle diagrams and how to derive coefficient of performance. What are the practical difficulties of Carnot refrigerator? Next class we'll move to air refrigeration concept. uh, we'll see syllabus. Based on syllabus we'll move to next class. Thank you very much.